to be? What's a cup of tea? What's mushy peas? What's the biggie thing? What's all this then?
Well, hello everybody and welcome to another episode of What's All This Then? It's a podcast about the United Kingdom with new episodes every Monday and bonus episodes every Thursday. And today on the show, grab yourself a Bud Light and join me in the back of my pickup truck because we're about to take the old dope.
The old dote.
No.
The old dope.
You were giving me a look, Livy, like, where is she going? What is this? I'm
the
old dote
too.
I'm the fucking old dote on. Okay, hold on. Here we go. Back in my pickup truck. Just cut all that out, Pat, surely.
Yeah.
Because we're about to take the old dirt road down to the lake so we can do some fish kissing. Our main topic this week is Donkey Kong Country.
Oh my god, she's done it.
Yeehaw! On DK Island, Donkey Kong Country, those levels were harder than a coconut tree. Throwing barrels and stomping on critters, losing all my lives was a real humdinger. Playing with my sibling on a Friday night, pile of bananas in the pale moonlight. Jumping on tires and dreaming about candy. When that monkey blew her kiss, it sure did make me randy. On DK Island in Donkey Kong Country, that underwater music meant a lot to me. I learned how to swim, how to drive a mine cart. Holy fucking shit, that game was really fucking hard. Holy fucking shit, that game was really fucking hard. I'm Charlotte McDonald, and I'm joined as always by my wonderful co-host. She's the Diddy to my donkey. It's Libby Watson.
I'm not the little fuck one.
And the little fuck one definitely wouldn't say that either. Wouldn't be so defensive.
My I'm not the little fuck one shirt is raising a lot of questions, etc., etc. Charlotte, I think that was my favorite of your songs. Yeah, that was really, really, really good.
Thank you. No, I've been off the parody songs for a little while, and it was nice to find a reason to come back. But Donkey Kong Country, I mean, you've got to do a country song. Did you recognize it?
No, I thought you made it up. Basically, I thought that was an original.
Alec, did you recognize what I was doing there?
No, you gotta tell me.
Of course I was doing the song Chattahoochee.
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 You know, my brain went to... My brain, I don't know that song. I was thinking of the running around the house with a pickle in my mouth from Righteous Gemstones.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
Which I think is probably, they probably have the same inspiration.
Yeah, yeah. I did notice that it had a line about Friday night in it, which I think is basically the number one thing that I recognize from country songs is saying, sometimes around the house I'll just say, cold beer on a Friday night.
Yeah. It's got to be a Bud Light on a Friday night as well.
Bud Light Friday night.
You're being properly Americanized.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, it's rotting me from within, actually.
That's good. That's a sign it's working.
That's good. Very good. Yes, very nice.
Shout out to my friend Liz in Nashville, who has incepted a few country songs in my mind. And so when I was struggling to think of one to do, I was like, of course, it's got to be Chattahoochee. How could it be anything else?
I did. Look, I have to say, I really liked the country Charlotte voice. I think we should bring that back for something. Perhaps the country episode that we do on. Oh, okay, I've got it. The country episode, we do it on Finest, where you're American country and I'm British West country, and then we are facing off against each other saying, "Oh, right, my darling, how is it going?" And then you're saying like, "Hoo-wee," and all that stuff. And that
sounds like I don't even need to be there for it.
I'm doing both.
You can do the whole thing, yeah.
You can do both. Also, I like the fact that obviously I now have the country accent in the bank, but I'm also from the West Country, so I feel like I maybe should do that one.
Yeah, but I don't want to do the American one, so.
I know, but if you were to do that, what would that maybe sound like?
Yeah, we just need to know for research.
Well, okay. Okay, so people who watch my stream will know that the only way that I can do an American accent is by doing an Ash Ketchum voice, which is essentially an impression ripped off from Heather Ann Campbell, and it goes like, "Oh boy!" So maybe if I could do Ash Ketchum country, oh. Gee whiz.
Gee whiz,
no.
Pikachu.
Yeah. Every word has like some syrup in it. You know, like instead of oh gee whiz, it's Oh, Jay Wayers.
Jay Wayers, yeah.
Jay Wayers, Pikachu.
I think
add like 4 syllables to each word.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you just add a couple vowels that you wouldn't expect. Yeah. I do love Southern accents. I love our friend Jesse Farrar. He doesn't have like a strong Southern accent, but when it comes out, I really, really like it. When he says pen as pin, I really like that. That's
sure.
really nice.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Do you know about the Midwest accent, the Michigan accent?
I mean, I know about Minnesota. I don't know about Michigan.
Minnesota is like the Fargo thing, but Michigan is very subtle. It's like milk and pillow become milk and pillow.
Malcolm Pello, yes.
Malcolm Pello?
Yeah,
I
I don't hear it. I think I might have a tiny bit of it, but like, yeah, that is the very subtle Michigan accent.
Yeah. No, I like that a lot. You guys are doing some really interesting work with vowels over here, and I support it.
Thank you so much for saying so. Very
We're
proud.
working so hard on the vowels.
You noticed.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let me introduce our guest today. As a writer, comic artist, game developer, narrative director at Squanch Games, who recently released High on Life 2, that game what Libby was in. Looking at Libby when I say that.
Amazing
welcome
work,
to the
Libby.
show, Mr. Boop himself, Alec Robbins. How are you doing?
Hi, thanks so much for having me. I'm doing great.
Alec, I
And
have
for
a
the
question.
audio listeners, Alec did wave.
I waved. I want you to know that I waved. That was
Look, we have
yeah.
video too, and upwards of 19 people will see it. So
Okay, good.
Yeah, that's pretty good stuff.
So I don't have to call it out every time I wave in this episode. I can just
no, you don't. I
trust.
mean, you
Okay.
can still if you want to.
I
You
might.
can just mention it. Yeah. Alec, I have a question for you.
Yes, please.
Is it possible to get that NPC that's stuck in the party city out of the party city, or is he just stuck in there forever?
I think they're stuck. I literally don't know. I am 90. There's so much shit in that game.
Yes, there
that
is. Yeah. Mhm.
It's as hard to keep track of it as it is to write any of it. But I
Yeah,
am 99% sure that there's nothing to do there. I think they're stuck. I'm
That's
sorry.
so devastating because I did spend maybe 10 minutes trying to find a way in. And then I went back later because there is a bit of narrative that happens where you go to the party city. And then I went back afterwards and I was like, maybe he's gotten out of the party city.
The reason I know that they're in, the reason I'm pretty sure they're stuck in there is because it would have taken a lot of extra work to code some way to get them out. And I know we didn't
course.
do that. I know
Yeah.
this was not worth the squeeze.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no. And I'll just, that's fine. And I'll just try to get rid of that part of my brain that is forever stuck on how sad that poor little man in there is.
Well, that's the
I'll just-
intended feeling. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
thank
If you're
you.
feeling
Yeah,
sad while playing our game, then it's working.
Deeply sad, yeah. I beat High on Life 2 a couple days ago. Had a great time.
Nice.
Really, really, I have to say, the only word for what I did when Luke showed up at the end was I pogged.
You
I
pogged.
pogged. I pogged and screamed and said, Louis, look, it's our friend Luke. He's there. And it was...
I was so excited about that part. I'm really glad we got it in.
And of course,
I don't want to
nailed
spoil it, but he is so good in it. It's just like a really fun moment.
Yeah, it's nice to have Luke playing, well, essentially playing himself.
Yeah. We did like
It's-
3
yeah.
takes of it, and they literally it was play the worst version of a streamer you can imagine and play the most subdued version of a streamer you can imagine. And we just picked the one that sounded like Luke.
Yeah, no, I mean, oh god, so good. What a great game. Had such a fun time playing it. Love skating around, and of course we'll talk more about games when we get to our
Yes.
main topic.
Yes. I mean, it's got to feel so good to hear your friends in a video game, but I am curious
I
how
love
you
it.
felt hearing yourself in a video game, Libby. And I mean, it goes for you as well, Alec. I know you played the suit, right?
I love
Yes.
Suto.
Suto.
Suto's
you.
great. Suto.
He
how did I
doesn't have a
feel?
British accent. I don't know what.
It's just how Libby would have done it, you know?
maybe High on Life 3. Suto's a British guy. Sounds
Hello
like-
there, Suto here. Hello.
I do a terrible British accent, by the way.
No, I mean, I think that... Well, you know who's... Okay, so you know whose British accent I loved in High on Life 2 was Luke does a guy who is, like, at the door of a, like...
Outside the execution.
Yeah, outside the execution, he's like a sort of British security guard, and he's meant to be like a sort of old-timey, like, I guess, you know, what is the word for a cop in the Middle Ages? Guard, I guess.
A guard, yeah.
And you could not guess with any like consistency whether each word he's going to say is in an American accent or a British accent. He just goes back and forth the whole time. It's so funny. It's so much funnier than him actually being British.
That's exactly. No, I'm glad you liked it. We have this huge stretch of the game that takes place in like a fantasy realm.
My favorite part.
And I loved it. I was so excited to do it. But the thing we kept landing on was we only had like 4 or 5 British voice actors in the cast. So to fill all these NPCs, I just kept going, you know what? Don't even try. Just do your most average British accent. The worse you do, the funnier it will be. And almost every actor in that section is kind of doing this half-assed in and out. It's terrible. But it makes me laugh.
That's perfect.
I really, really adored it, yeah. Charlotte, you asked me how it feels hearing myself. I would say each time I encountered myself, it was a mix of terror and joy. And I was playing sitting next to Lewis, who... I have to say, is extremely supportive about the whole thing and thinks it's really cool. And I would sort of go, Lewis, it's a me bit. And we would sort of sit there in silence and decide whether I did a good job or not. So, and he always said that was great. But, it's a scary thing. I've never done anything. When Alec first messaged me, I was like, did you mean to send this to somebody else? Do you know another Libby?
No, you did great.
Don't. Thank you.
I don't. You're the only Libby. No, I must know one more. I know Libby from Lost. That's it.
Oh, there's a Libby in Lost?
There's a Libby in Lost. She's a love interest for Hurley, and she gets shot in the middle of season 2, and they tease her in a flashback with Hurley where she's in the same mental institution, and they never explain it.
Wow.
It's a really cool show.
Mental Libby. I love it. That's great. I'm
Are
happy
you
to
big
have
Lost head,
representation.
Alec?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't rewatched it in a long time. I actually watched season 1 again a couple years ago and loved it. And then one episode into season 2, I was like, this is immediately so much worse.
That's
I can't
what
keep
I did.
going. The dip is insane. But
It's
I watched
crazy.
it all when it aired, yeah.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, because it was a pandemic watch for us where Lewis was like, why don't we just watch Lost? Because, we've never seen it. And I was pretty on board for season 1. I was like, okay, this is like, this is not a prestige TV show. This is a TV show.
Good old-fashioned, big-budget, stupid fun.
Exactly. And, I was okay with it through season 1, and then season 2 started, and I was like, I just completely lost interest.
It's really bad
I got the
immediately. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot I love, and like one of my favorite characters comes in season 2, Ben Linus, but like, I don't know, the dip is crazy.
Yeah, the dip is crazy. Me on a roller coaster.
That's good. I love that living. When I made my Quibi show, which is obviously a huge thing for me to drop on the podcast because that's so cool that everyone knows what that means. I co-created it with
Quibi show.
Yeah, tell Alec about the Quibi show.
Yeah. No, I co-created it with Jeffrey Lieber, who has done lots of TV work. But I think his biggest credit is that he is one of the co-creators of Lost because he wrote the original pilot for it. And then just because of the way the Writers Guild works, he's just like, he wrote the original pilot, did no other work. And as a result, his name is on every single episode of that show.
I recognize the name from that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
No, did he get paid for every episode, or is that just like
I think
credit?
he did. Yeah,
Fuck yeah, dude.
that works.
What a deal.
Really, really cool. No, he had an original version of it that I think was called Nowhere instead, and Jack dies in the first episode.
Mm-hmm. I remember this because I did a thing on my stream where I misread a Defector headline that was about a Lost Dilbert pilot. But it wasn't Lost and Dilbert. It was Lost in the sense that the pilot is lost. But in my head, I was like, they put Dilbert in Lost? What the fuck? So I spent like 45 minutes on my stream trying to rewrite the Lost pilot as Dilbert. And then I realized that the pilot's like 100 pages long. So we didn't get that far. But I think the idea was that Dilbert was a company retreat, like escape room that was on an island. And he was trying to, get out of the escape room, and it was a horrible sort of corporate activity. So maybe one day I'll go back and finish the Dilbert Lost pilot. But yeah, it's a fascinating pilot to read, I have to say.
It's a good pilot.
It's a really good pilot.
I'll give it that. It's exciting.
I was enjoying reading it, and I was like, TV writing. Yep, that looks fun.
One of the things I find myself really curious about when Americans are making stuff where they're going to decide, when they decide to use British voice actors. Because I'm like, okay, so it's a fantasy world, so obviously you need to have British voices in that, right?
Fantasy,
that makes sense.
Swords, you're British. Yeah, anything like that.
Yeah. Evil as well. If
Evil's
you need
British.
an evil character, then they've got to be British as well. How do you decide when you're coming up with a character, like whether or not they need to be British? Like, when does that enter your mind? What are the reasons for that?
Honestly, we have a lot more Australian actors in the game.
I was going to
feel.
say,
Right,
you've got
right.
so many great Australian voices in there.
Yeah, we have Wayne Pygram, who played Scorpius in Farscape. He plays Dr. Gurgula in our game. And he's like this sort of hidden big bad. And that is the classic. I think normally someone would cast a British guy there, but we were just thinking Farscape at the time.
Right.
But no, I think usually what you outlined is the first guess. But also, we have a couple characters that I don't think you would expect would be British. Like the commercial director is Matt King from Peep Show, Super Hans. And like that could have been a Hollywood like schmoozer type voice, but we just thought, we want a Matt King energy to it. I'm kind of freewheeling it. Every single casting decision is mostly based on I want to work with this person, and a lot of people we like are British, and then we sort of retroactively be like, all right, well, this character's now British.
Yeah,
I like that.
I will say, of all of the extremely famous and talented people that I heard in High on Life 2, I was pogging the most at Ralph Ineson. I mean, what?
Yes.
What a legend. Are you a UK Office fan?
Big time. I still defend it. I mean, I'm not a Ricky Gervais guy anymore, obviously. But
I've had a lot of people recently be like, okay, because of how far Ricky Gervais has fallen, Stephen Merchant must have really been holding up the UK Office. You know?
Always
Absolutely.
wondered, but he's done some stuff on this side that also isn't very good. So.
Sure.
I don't know.
I think they just maybe had that one thing in them, and it was fucking perfect. I mean,
I like extras too. I'll stand by extras.
Yeah.
They lose me after that.
Extras
Sure.
is really interesting, and our friend
Guy who's a big Derek fan.
Love the invention of lying.
Yeah.
Man. That's the peak for me personally.
Okay, guy who likes all of the David Brent stuff that Ricky Gervais has done in the last few years, where he's trying to bring it back, but not the original
revival
Office. That's really
Now the
good.
character's working for me.
Yeah, exactly. No, our friend Brendan wrote a really good piece for the Baffler a few years ago about like what happened to Ricky Gervais, and if you haven't seen it, the thing where he is interviewing Larry Sanders, aka Gary Shandling.
I love this video. I know exactly what you're talking
It's
about. I've watched it
unbelievable.
a million times. I've shown it to a million people.
Yes.
It is up there with the HBO Talking Funny special with like
Yes.
Louis C.K.
That
and
is
Ricky
also
Gervais.
a key bit of Ricky Gervais lore.
Yeah.
And it's
But
so
this,
clear.
This Gary Shandling thing. Sorry,
Yeah.
you were explaining it.
No, yeah. I mean, in that particular video, it's just absolutely like, it's so clear how much Gary Shandling just finds him to be this loathsome little pig. And at the same time, how for Ricky Gervais, so much of like his fame was sort of a reason to be in the room with all of these amazing people who inspired him. Like, a lot of the Larry Sanders Show is very similar to Extras, but Larry Sanders Show is like leagues above in terms of how good it is.
Absolutely.
But what Ricky Gervais did with Extras is like come up with essentially reasons to have a bunch of really cool famous people, like, fucking Patrick Stewart, or
Yeah, he's got Bowie singing a song about how dumb he is. Like,
Yes,
I mean,
exactly.
That stuff works, but yeah.
and it's a way to get Bowie to sing about him, even if it
Exactly.
is
It's an
saying
ego
you're a little
thing.
pig. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Right.
Yeah, and it's so
Funny
sad.
little fat man.
Little fat man. It is really funny, unfortunately.
It is. It's funny. That's the thing. It's funny, and I see it as an ego ploy. I see it for what it is.
Yeah.
Right. It tends to be at its best when whatever character Ricky Gervais is playing is the butt of the joke, and I feel like
Yes.
that is the
Yeah.
reason that a lot of it can still work when you go back to it, because it's like, okay, but I don't like him, but also he's clearly the stupid one in this, and so it's
yeah.
fine.
It's
I
a
feel
little
like he
weirder when you
tried
get to like Life's Too
Yeah, he-
Short, and they have Liam Neeson sitting across from them. I mean, people like that bit, but
Yeah.
he's not
Yeah.
really the bad guy in that scene. Yeah.
Right.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's
When he tried to be like the straight man and like
Yes.
looking at everyone else like they're crazy, then it really started to fall apart, I think, for him.
Yeah.
All the
And
stuff with
also some
Carl
stuff he said about
Pilkington,
trans people, I guess, or whatever.
also
That stuff, that was weird. I didn't expect that from
kind of
him.
crazy.
Yeah.
What's that all about? Yeah. No, I think I have a whole podcast in me, I think. Thank you so much, Charlotte. I think I have a whole podcast in me about or at least a mini series for this podcast about the UK Office and Peep Show, because those two for me are the two shows. The Thick of It is I actually probably like The Thick of It a bit more even than Peep Show, but I think if I was going to put two on the pedestal, which is made of bike pedals, and we all know, then that is those are the two that I would put on. They are so good, and they are so something that could not exist in America.
Could we do Telly Month?
We could do Telly Month.
We'll do Telly Month. We'll just do some of that stuff that we haven't done yet.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think. Is there a month that sounds like Telly? July jelly.
That sounds more like jelly.
Jelly month.
That's a different
jelly month. Jelly.
There's no month that sounds like Telly. I am so sorry.
There's no month that sounds like Telly. Fuck.
You can't do it.
Tellytober.
Tellytober. That's it.
That's enough of a strain that I'm like, yeah, that is it, actually.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah. No, October's a great month for a theme month as well, because, well, here's the thing, is we had one that we wanted to do for September.
Oh, yeah, but, I mean, who cares? We can do whatever we want.
We can do whatever we
It's our
want.
podcast.
You can do jelly in September.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jellied eels, other jelly British things.
Jelly and ice cream.
There's got to be 3 more, right?
Did you have a lot of jelly and ice cream?
Trifle?
I had a lot of jelly and ice cream growing up.
That was always the key combo. Yeah, you got to do the jelly with the ice cream.
I never liked. Wait. You're saying that's a combo meal?
Yes,
yes.
Jello, as you would call it, and ice cream.
Jello. Mm-hmm. Well, I hate Jello, but hold on. I've never heard of Jello and ice cream together. Is that a British thing?
Yes, that is a classic British dessert. I'm going to look up jelly and ice cream.
You guys are always cooking up something new over there that I've never heard of. That sounds disgusting to me.
Alec, it was only last week that I realized that the British having a ice cream dish called Knickerbocker Glory is not like a normal thing. I don't know what. Sorry, that's crazy. I
guess like the South, we have a lot of crazy foods, but
Jello salad.
Jello salad, yeah. Like there, we have our fair share of strange delicacies that no other country would like. But I am constantly floored by the UK.
Mm-hmm.
We are some crazy motherfuckers for sure. No, It's like to me, jelly and ice cream was like a child's birthday party type dessert, because it's easy to slop out. You slop out a bit of jelly and you slop out a bit of ice cream, and then you give it to a 6-year-old.
So it's just a bowl with ice cream and jelly in it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
There's no trick to it.
And as a kid, you're just like, well, these are 2 things I like, so this is good.
Okay.
I'm realizing this is one of those things that I hadn't examined since I was, again, maybe 12 or something. I haven't thought about jelly and ice cream. And I have very strong memories of being at, what was his name? There was a clown in my hometown whose name was Mr. Jelly.
You're asking us? What was his name?
No. I'm remembering Mr. Jelly and how scared I was of Mr. Jelly. There was a clown named Mr. Jelly.
A local clown.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a photo of him somewhere. And he would do kids' birthday parties. And I remember eating jelly and ice cream at a Mr. Jelly event. And I guess now maybe in my head, jelly and ice cream is fused with Mr. Jelly.
Yeah. I wouldn't
we can work through this for my Libby.
Named after the guy who's hosting the party at his party.
I know. Oh, this is the American clown, Mr. Burger.
Well, he's great. That's different.
Yes, he is. Charlotte, do you want to do British Thought of the Week?
Let's do British Thought of the Week.
Tea's quite nice. What happened to Noel Edmonds? EastEnders. Bloody raining again. How do they make Scotch eggs? Did they finish Brexit or what?
British Thought of the Week.
That's right, Charlotte. It's British Thought of the Week. And this week's British Thought of the Week is, who says we have to use bloody grams and nonsense like that? What about me yards and acres, eh? What about that then?
Who's this character?
It's me. No, I'm just kidding. This week's British Thought of the Week comes to us from Jeremy Hellwig. And the normal way that he said that, instead of the thing that I just did, is, what are the Weights and Measures Acts? And Jeremy says, this came up in two separate contexts. First of all, when traveling around Scotland, bartenders kept telling us they couldn't make cocktails, but rather just beer and shots. They said due to the Weights and Measures Act, alcohol can only be served in very specific amounts. So in order to sell us a Manhattan, for example, they would have to charge us for 2 full shots of whiskey and 1 full shot of vermouth. Eventually, we met an American bar owner who said, nobody enforces that bullshit. I can make you whatever you want. Now, this is interesting because before we get into any of this, I had never encountered this. I've had cocktails at British bars and they didn't say, can't do that for you, love. Sorry. Right?
I mean, I guess I was never like adventurous enough to just like ask for something kind of like that isn't on the menu, or like ask for just like, I mean, I didn't drink for a long time. I'm wondering, but I definitely, I haven't heard of this before. It does, I guess it does sound, it sounds like a British thing in that I can understand someone at the bar being like, I can't be bothered with your shit. And I'm going to bring up some like old ancient rule that no one enforces just as an excuse to not make the thing that you want or to charge you too much money for it.
Yeah, it reads like a Douglas Adams bit. Like, there's some bureaucratic arcane rule that is preventing me from doing the most simple, basic thing.
Yes, a job's worth moment. Yeah. I think what happened here was that a Scottish bartender hated Americans and wanted to say, no, I can't do that.
Right.
Have a pint and shut the fuck up, I think is what the bartender was thinking. The other context, Jeremy continues, is when I mentioned to an American that single track roads in the Highlands have a 60 mile per hour speed limit, which is very scary because, that's too fast, first of all, and single track roads is crazy, and I have many thoughts about that. They say, don't you mean kilometers? It was kilometers when I was there. I ask if they've been to the UK and they realize they're thinking of Ireland. I didn't say that. This is other Americans quoted who are saying that. I'm not getting those two things confused.
Wow. Yeah.
It's somebody else doing that. Anyway, this is, I think, a moment, Charlotte, for us to clear the record straight on what...
That is the phrase.
Thank you so much, Alec. Thank you.
We're clearing the record straight.
Okay, that's a segment now. Clear the record straight. On what we use each thing for, because we do use both metric and imperial in the UK, don't we, Charlotte?
Okay, yes, we do. What am I thinking? I think one of the weirdest ones is stones as weight.
Stones, oh my god,
yeah,
stones
that is
one
strange.
that
I've never bothered to learn that one. Yeah.
Because you don't even have it. And that's the thing, is we have two different imperial systems. There's the British imperial system, which is newer than the American imperial system, which is also actually known as the customary system. Because when America split off from Britain, they kept the older one. And then in 1824, Britain created a new imperial system that was slightly different, which is why a British pint is bigger than an American pint.
I didn't know that either.
Did you know that? It's
I did not know this. No.
Wow. How much bigger? It's like 4 times as big.
I think it's like 20 ounces or something versus American pint. I didn't write this one down. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Can I tell you my dumb American guy understanding of stones? Because I've never looked into it. I've heard it a million times. My whole life, I have always just assumed it must be equivalent to the weight of a stone. But then if you take that thought one step further, you're like, well, stones could be a million different sizes. So this isn't helpful at all.
I feel like there is like a standard stone somewhere. I might be misremembering this,
the
but
mythical
I swear
standard stone.
There is just a stone that everyone is like, that's the stone.
It's a stone that the queen found once and put on a little pedestal and said, this is the one.
Yeah,
when we talk about
I like
stone,
this one.
Yeah.
Basically, I think what stone is about, and I hadn't thought about stone when I was doing this British thought, so I'm doing this on the fly. But
sorry to throw you.
No, don't. Basically, sort of yes, in that the word is so old that it goes back to a time when you would just kind of weigh it against stones. You know?
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I don't feel dumb.
No, you're not dumb at all. But that we have had like actual. For hundreds of years, we had a standard, either a yardstick or depending on what's being measured, like there would be a yard somewhere that's the official yard, or this is what a kilogram weighs. And actually, I was learning about how we used to measure everything against this 1 kilogram weight that France had, and then over time, the kilogram weight started to change because, by microns at a time, which is that's like the weight of a fingerprint. But this is the kind of stuff
reasons. America can't have stuff like this. We're not old enough. You guys have like an actual ancient stone that you use.
I got really interested in this, and I realized that honestly, if you're autistic and you're looking for a fixation, can I recommend Weights and Measures? Because there's so much cool stuff on there.
I have enough. I've been looking for a new
autistic
fixations.
Yeah. Well, just in case you're, let's say one of your fixations gets cancelled, consider Weights and Measures.
Won't happen. I have good taste. I only
trains has been cancelled, unfortunately. All trains.
What did trains do?
Oh no,
they didn't arrive on time.
I always knew trains were. I actually never liked trains.
Turns out trains were involved in the Holocaust and several other.
Fuck!
Oh no!
Oh
God,
man!
Damn.
We've really fucked it.
They ran over a lot of maidens in the Old West who were tied to the tracks.
They did.
Oh,
and why did they do that? It's so crazy that we just
why did the trains do that?
They should have stopped.
They should have stopped.
Trains.
That's a nice maiden. She hasn't done anything wrong. So it does go back to even before medieval times. Obviously, for like hundreds of years, thousands of years, there have been attempts to sort of standardize, because let's say a bloke at the market wants to sell you a pound of flour and you pick it up and you're like, well, I guess that's a pound. I don't really know. But he's selling a pound that's lighter than the other bloke. That's kind of sort of one of the main things you would think the government would get involved in standardizing. And I learned that it actually is so foundational to British law that it's in the fucking Magna Carta.
Whoa.
The Magna Carta says, let there be 1 measure for wine throughout our kingdom, and 1 measure for ale, and 1 measure for corn. So part of the Magna Carta was basically. It was like king, stop being a wanker. Other people is matter as well as the king. Also, we really need to have 1 wine glass size. Come on, lads, we've got to stop fucking around with the measurements of ale. There's also a whole like. I'm sorry to say, like, sort of Brexit-y thing with Weights and Measures, where Boris Johnson's government tried to revert the British use of metric to imperial. I remember hearing about, Charlotte, do you remember hearing about the metric martyrs?
I am not familiar with the metric martyrs, no, but I am excited to learn about them.
A completely insane name for a group of people who were essentially like shopkeepers and stuff, who had been fined for selling things using imperial weights rather than metric. And then they decided that they were called the metric martyrs, who I believe I think they're using the name of the toll puddle martyrs, which were like, original,
we all know the toll puddle martyrs. Obviously, you don't need to go into that.
They were agricultural laborers who were arrested for swearing a secret oath as members of a friendly society. I'm reading from Wikipedia. Basically, it was a labor issue.
If America's problem, if the United States' problem is we don't have enough rules, your problem is you have too many.
Yeah, well, it is true. And I think America has a lot of situations where you have some crazy Byzantine rules, but
we do.
Yeah, but these guys were just losing their minds because an inspector who, because they have Weights and Measures inspectors who will come around and weigh your stuff and say, oi, well, they don't even necessarily weigh your stuff. They say, look, the container you're using to weigh, beans or whatever isn't stamped. It's a stamp thing. It has to be stamped to say this is the right size of container for weighing beans.
Okay.
And so, they get fined, and then all these blokes come together and say, well, it's just rubbish. We've had imperial since bloody Magna Carta, haven't we? And all that stuff. The government did a survey in 2023, I think, to see if people were interested in bringing back the imperial system. Would you like to guess what percentage of respondents said that they preferred a purely imperial system?
52%.
Alec, you have a guess?
99.
0.4.
Okay, exactly. I was closest in the opposite direction.
Yes. No one fucking cares. It is just ginned up bullshit. Because some people are like, okay, I mean, basically what most people think is what we have, which is stuff should be primarily sold metric, but you can put imperial on the packet if that helps people understand how much it is.
Right.
This sounds like the people in America who want daylight savings time removed and pennies removed. Like it's
yes.
something that people are kind of like, I guess that's not really an important thing.
You got
for
rid
me.
of pennies, right? Or you're going to get rid of pennies.
We're in the process now. I think that is finally happening. Yeah.
I think what they did was they just sort of stopped making them, but without making
They're still
shops.
Yeah, you can still use a penny.
Yeah, you can still use a penny, and shops can still sell stuff in, like 99p or whatever. Not 99p.
Yeah.
What is it here? Cents.
Cents.
It can be $5.99 instead of having to be $5.95. And thus you can require a coin for change that no longer exists. So well done, the Trump administration.
I think the UK should bring back the tuppence.
Man, we need to do a whole fucking thing about the old money system. I remember my nan had a pewter mug full of coins, old coins that I would play with as a kid, and it includes.
Libby is 200 years old.
Yeah, oh my god. I had a rough childhood, but I was like, oh my god, Libby's was worse.
Oh, we used to love looking through the pewter mug at all the old coins.
Jangle my pewter cup of coins.
Oh, what a lovely ringing sound it did make.
I'd spread them all out on the floor.
It did.
I'd spread them out on the floor and look at them.
Not even using them to buy anything.
Interesting.
Yeah, just I like the coins.
I like the coins because she had old shillings and stuff in there, and I was like, "The fuck is this? This is crazy." And so I would, basically every time I went to my nan's house, I'd be like, "Go and get the pewter mug of coins and take a look at them."
No, I remember doing. I think we've talked about this before, Libby. I can't remember if you've done this, but like as a school trip, we would do a trip to like a Victorian style school and have to pretend for a day that we were in an old school. And I do remember having to pay at the end with old money and being like, "This is fucking stupid, man. This is crazy."
Yeah, we didn't get to do anything like that.
That's a shame.
Yeah, I don't really remember a lot. I remember we did a school trip to a place that was just another school where they taught us how to be afraid of like crossing railroad tracks and stuff. And I was like, okay, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Oh, and there was a whole like stranger danger seminar. That was great.
I like your phrasing of teach you how to be afraid of it.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
It was literally they showed us one of those fucking terrifying PSAs where it's like, oh, and here's little Johnny, and he's having a play around the railroad tracks, and oh look, he's been squashed to death, and now he's dead.
It's a nice way to phrase how a lot of education actually is.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Teaching you how to be scared of things.
I couldn't sleep for like 2 months after a fireman came to our school to tell us about how how you might die in a fire if your parents don't have a smoke alarm, and how you can knot sheets to jump out of the window and stuff like that. I was like, fucking hell, I'm 8. I don't want to know about this. I did find out that there are some very funny names of measurements that are still part of the Weights and Measures Act, which is the act that governs all of this stuff, all of, what things can be sold as, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
There are some funny names, so I want you guys to figure out if you have any idea what this might be. For example, do you know what a bushel is in terms of how much? And I'll give you a hint. It's a weight. It's a measure of volume.
A bushel.
I know the phrase. I've heard it used.
You probably have heard the phrase a bushel and a peck.
Actually, not. I haven't heard a bushel and a peck. I've heard like a bushel of. Am I wrong in saying a bushel of corn?
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
But it's a volume.
It's a volumetric measurement.
I don't know. It's just a hand woven basket's amount of stuff. Is it not a bushel?
Well,
that is where I'm going with it, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Apparently it's 8 gallons, which I think is how much gas my car holds. So it's also, they could call it a Corolla, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that.
A peck is 2 gallons. We also have something called a minim. And a minim is 1/60th of a fluid drachm.
Okay, both of those are completely new to me.
I know.
I've always wondered about the fluid drachm.
Yeah, the fluid drachm. There's also a weight drachm. There's a dram weight, and you do sometimes you hear about getting a dram of whiskey or whatever. That has a specific, I think that's like 1/8 of a fluid ounce or something. So it's a really small amount. A weight there's a dram, which is 1/16 of an ounce. A drachm in weight is 1/8 of an ounce apothecaries. The fuck are you talking about? Ounce apothecaries?
Is any of this stuff like useful to like one guy still, which is
Almost
why it's still
certainly.
around?
Right, some apprentice who's still, or this old master who's still working.
Yeah,
This is all stuff that I would like research for a fantasy novel and then throw in. It's archaic, it's outdated, but then you're like, oh my god, he actually got that from something real.
Right, absolutely, yes. We also have something called a scruple, which is 1/3 of a drachm, and then a rood, which is 1,210 square yards.
I'm gonna use that, man. I'm gonna use that.
I know,
all the
right?
time.
A rood.
That is good.
A rood.
I mean, the rude. Yeah.
I have to assume that a lot of this is just because it was in the law at some point, and because our laws go back so far, it's sort of easier to not get rid of the old ones and just keep them as part of the. And yeah, okay. So if you're some motherfucker in, Inverness who's selling a scruple of, I don't know, beans or whatever. I don't think you could sell a scruple. I don't think even a bean weighs a scruple. Then you have to have it.
Wear a scruple, mate.
Your bean's not a fucking scruple, mate. Anyway, to answer Jeremy's question, specifically on, I think a lot of this goes, I would say 99% of what people care about in terms of this stuff is, am I getting as much beer as I paid for? And I found a really funny page on the City of London website. Where is it? Ah, there it is. Which is called Pub Trade Within the City of London. It starts, the City of London Trading Standard Service is encouraging consumers to feel confident in asking for a top-up if it is felt that a short measure pint has been sold. This needs to be done before drinking starts, and bar staff should normally meet your request without any fuss. Because people are so concerned that they are getting a pint that is just a tiny little bit less beer.
Got too much head. Yeah.
Yes, a head can only be 5% of the drink. That is part of the law.
God, I mean, if someone was like, "Can I have a top off on this?" and then showed me the web page that you're like reading off, like on their phone. I mean, I don't know. I would find a reason to spit in the drink, maybe. But...
It's sort of like the British equivalent of sovereign citizens who go around saying, like, you cannot legally detain me. I'm under maritime law. I have the right to record this, all that kind of stuff. If you have purchased a pint that is more than 5% deficient from a pub within the City of London, we would like to hear from you. Email the team. I really love that. I really love that. Dobbing in the pub is like, well, it gave me a pint. I was missing 25 milliliters of beer and blah, 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 blah.
It would be a good job to be going undercover to all of the pubs and then like waiting for the 5% less pint so that you could bring out your pint badge.
It would be the worst reality show of all time.
Yes, undercover pint inspectors. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
Okay, actually though,
after the first hour, they're just all smashed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then like it never happens. Everyone like yeah, actually, this is all out. But you're doing it by the books. This is great.
Yeah, they've got a pint that's like half head, and they're like, "This is fucking lovely. Actually, this is really, really good. You should come here. Come to the Swan and Pedo."
By the time it happens, then he's like, you know what, I don't even care anymore. I'm feeling too good.
Yeah, exactly. Another good sentence from this. One of the problems with using a brim measure for the sale of beer, that's like, filling it to the brim, essentially, is that it is virtually impossible to get a full pint of liquid due to the frothy head that is formed when the beer is dispensed into a glass. Over the years, the generally accepted norm is that a pint containing minimum 95% liquid and 5% head is okay. However, this is a legally complex area, and if you ask for a pint, perhaps you really should expect to get a full pint of liquid.
That's fair.
I mean, you're ordering the fizzy drink. You can't expect to keep pouring the fizz until the head is gone, right?
It never occurred to me that this stuff was being legally tracked. Like, I kind of just thought it was within each bar's purview to choose how much they're serving with a pint or a glass or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's so specific that actually, I don't know if you remember, if you weren't drinking in the UK, you probably don't remember this, Charlotte, but they have, for spirits, for example, they have these special machines that like you put the bottle upside down on a dispenser and it dispenses exactly 25 milliliters or 35 milliliters. You can't sell liquor in like if you're an establishment that sells it in 25 milliliters, you cannot legally then also sell it in 35 milliliters. It has to be one or the other. Isn't that fucking insane?
That is crazy.
I know.
Why? I mean, it's okay. I mean, I don't interact with this stuff enough day to day for it to really annoy me that much, but that's special. And you know that the people who have the 25 are like so proud, and the 35, and they have a rivalry and all of that stuff.
Yeah. Are you a 25 or a 35?
One? Yeah, I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
Where do you go?
Yeah. So that's a weird thing. Basically, we use both things. I would say we use Celsius for temperature mostly. We use Celsius for oven temperature, but you might encounter someone who, when it's hot outside, they say, "Oh, it's 100 degrees today." You know,
right?
At least old people.
Old people would say that. Yeah,
Old
and then we
people would say
use
that.
miles,
We
and
use
then
miles.
also meters.
You would probably say I think you could say either it's about 50 meters down the road or it's 50 yards down the road. You know, I think that you would probably hear both. I don't think I would ever describe Banbury as being, 100 kilometers from London or whatever. You would just say miles for that. And you would always do miles per hour. What else? But you would also talk about, obviously you talk about getting a pint. You don't talk about getting like 583 milliliters from the pub. This is my
maybe we
opinion.
should. Maybe that's what we should be saying.
This is my opinion, is that the metric system is obviously better. Makes more sense. But what we need is names for specific amounts of I think what we should do is rename like 500 milliliters or something. That's a pint from now on, because you need to be able to say a word rather than saying, "Can I have 500 milliliters of beer, please?" That sounds stupid.
Can't we just keep saying pint and we just know what it is in milliliters?
Yeah.
Doesn't that just work?
I mean,
I
that's
think we
fine.
fixed it.
I just think it's kind of silly for a pint to be 583.7 milliliters or whatever.
I mean, I agree. It's silly, but it's what we got.
It's what we got, and we've been doing it for 1,000 years, and we're going to keep doing it.
That's right. Well, that was a wonderful British thought, Libby. Thank you for the person who sent that in. And if you want to send us a British thought, you can do that by shooting us an email. We're whatsallthispost@gmail.com. It's time now to move over to our main topic, and today, video games. We're talking about Donkey Kong Country, baby. Which I have to say, up top, I have played a small amount of, and it was too hard. I did not have a Super Nintendo growing up. I think I maybe knew one kid who had a Super Nintendo. But I had access to a Nintendo 64 at that point, so I was like, this is like bad, and the graphics is bad, so this sucks, and I'm not really going to be interested in it. But that's where I'm at. Alec, I believe you are much more familiar with this game than I am.
You're right. I had a Super Nintendo as a kid. I had
brag.
all three of these games, and I played them probably more than any other game on the Super Nintendo. The Donkey Kong Country series. I think Donkey Kong Country 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. I'm like a big 2D platformer guy, and I think some of the best level design in any 2D platformer is in that second game. And it's also the most interesting from like a environments perspective. Now you got me going on this rant, but most 2D platformers... It's
almost as if you're here to talk about Donkey Kong Country. So
my apologies for talking so much about this thing you asked me to talk about.
And I'm sorry if it's not woke to like Donkey Kong Country, but I'm going to say it.
And it's not, and I don't care. Yeah, I mean, a lot of 2D platformers, like your Marios and your Mega Mans and everything, you get like your grass zone, you get your ice zone, you get your very typical biomes. Donkey Kong Country 2 has you on a pirate ship, it has you on a haunted theme park, it has you in a swamp, which I guess you see a bunch of swamps, but it's all over. You get like a dungeon keep. It is the most inventive... a bramble patch, which we'll talk about, because...
Stickerbush Symphony.
Stickerbrush Symphony is maybe the best video game track of all time.
Yes, I completely agree. And I have a horrible example of playing that for some Gen Z friends of mine, and they didn't get it. They were like, "What?" I know.
I did. I once... someone asked me my favorite song once in college, and I was like, you know what, I think it's this, and I played it, and they looked at me like I was insane. And then only then did I realize that's I should have picked like a song from music.
Right.
a song from popular music, not this ambient video game track.
I think it's come back around. I think it is cool now, but
it is cool.
I think
I used
it's
to
had a
pause
comeback
the
in the
game,
form of
like-
lo-fi video game music.
Yeah.
On YouTube.
the sound
think.
font stuff that people do, where they do like Californication in the Donkey Kong Country sound font or whatever. I fucking love
That stuff is fun.
It's
yes.
really fun. Yeah.
Well, like that game in particular, with the water level music in the first game and that Brambles music in the second, I would like pause my game and just sit and listen to it as a kid, and because if you paused in those games, the music would keep playing, and I didn't have a lot of like connection. The internet was fresh. I didn't have a lot of other friends who cared about these games.
Yeah.
So those tracks were very important to me, and only like 10 years later did I find out they were important to a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
So
yeah.
that was like, dawn of the internet, be going like, oh yeah, this is like how everyone's like, oh my god, we all love Zelda.
Yep.
I mean, yes, obviously we all love Aquatic Ambience and Sticker Brush Symphony, but I remember being kind of like bowled over by, oh my god, we all connected over this synthy ambience.
It was a different time where you could like something that was extremely popular and still feel sort of isolated.
Yeah.
In your
Right,
enjoyment
yeah.
of that thing. Like Ocarina of Time sold
like-
millions of copies, and I knew one person at school who got it.
Yeah, obviously everyone played it, but it just was a different time. And
It was a
I
different
remember like loving Sticker Brush Symphony, finding out who wrote it, so like looking in the credits and seeing it was David Wise. And I remember I had this urge to, like, I wanted to tell him I liked this music. And I read an interview with him years later where he was like, yeah, I mean, I didn't know how big it was until 15 years after the fact, when people online showed me how many people were remixing it and making like, top 10 lists and everything.
Yeah. Charlotte, I do just want to play this sound, which is the startup sound from Donkey Kong Country. I think if I hear this when I enter the afterlife, I will know that everything's going to be okay. Isn't that perfect?
That's perfect.
That's so nice.
Isn't that perfect? And
There's
if you're
good sound
under
design in
30
these
and you're
games.
listening to this, stop it. You're not. You don't get it. You don't know. You don't know. All right. You don't know.
Wait, can you look up the Kremling sound?
Yes.
Oh.
I do that around the house.
There's a YouTube video that's literally 2 seconds long. It's just that noise, and I pull it up all the time.
Here we go.
And I would say, as someone who does not have the like nostalgic connection to this game and this series of games, the music and these sounds are so fucking good.
Okay, good.
They are so good.
Play that one more time. Keep that going. That's perfect. That's just the best sound.
It's so good.
I cannot think of a better sound to play as you jump on top of a crocodile.
No, I mean basically all of the sounds in this game are great. The music is fantastic. The music is great for writing too, I have found. It's because a lot of video game music is, but I used to listen to there's one video on YouTube that's like the whole OST, and I used to listen to it so much when I was writing that I started to get to a point where like certain tracks I started to feel bad when I heard them, because I was like, this is about how far I get into writing before I'm like, oh fuck, I can't do this. This is really, really bad.
Oh no.
So I think I've cured myself now, but yeah, that was tough.
That's good. I mean, I want to know if either of you, and I feel like Libby especially, because I thought all video games were American when I was a child. I think. Like, would either of you had any conception of the idea that this was being made in like a small village in the UK?
Oh my god. It's crazy because I didn't understand how insane this was until I was much older.
Yeah.
Because it's already a weird thing for Nintendo to let another company work on one of their biggest characters.
Yes.
And if you remember at the time, like Donkey Kong was bigger than Mario for a period because of these games.
Yeah.
It was like, there was Super Mario World that had its time in the limelight, and then these Donkey Kong Country games came out. They were 3D, they looked amazing, and it was kind of the new thing. It was Nintendo is Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
And finding out later that it was because they handed off the series to this small British developer.
I know.
That's, I mean, like, even today that would be crazy. They do it every once in a while where they'll kind of let someone play with their IP, but it's rare. Pardon the pun.
Ooh, there you go. Would you look at that?
Good shit. Yeah, I did know, and this is where I have to thank my stepbrother, Tom, who was 6 years older than me and is the one who introduced me to video games at all. And I think this is the first game I remember him playing. I remember watching him play on SNES it must have been 1994 or 5. It was before the N64 came out. And he was a rare super fan. Like he was like, yeah, rare.
He's a big fan
it's like
of Joust.
You know. Now that I say that, I'll have to ask him, and we'll do an update. And I'll. Find out.
Battletoads. They had some bangers before.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, but I think I'm sure it was primarily Donkey Kong Country. Then obviously GoldenEye and Perfect Dark when N64 came out.
Banjo-Kazooie.
Banjo fucking Kazooie.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it is wild to think about how many of like these like classic games were being made in the UK again by this small team. I was watching just this morning. I was watching a little documentary by this YouTuber called Boundary Break.
I know that one, yeah.
For the usually he does a lot of like outside of the bounds of video game stuff, but for Donkey Kong's 25th, the Donkey Kong Country's 25th anniversary, just interviewed a bunch of the people who made the game, and I did want to play you both a little bit of this because this is the bit where Greg Mayles, who was the designer. I think he was maybe the only designer on the whole game. He was just talking about the experience of making the game in this small village of Twycross.
Can I just say how much this looks like the village where my dad lived when I was growing up? If you told me that this was Eddington, I would believe you.
And for the listeners, it's a pretty like idyllic, tiny little village.
It looks like Cotswold Stone.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's have a little listen to this.
But at the time, we were based in Twycross, which is like a really small rural village with like.
They had a pub there called Frankie Doodle.
Hate that.
It's got a small school and did have a small post office, but maybe a couple of hundred houses at the most.
Oh, it's adorable, isn't it?
And then there was Rare that sat on the edge of the village in this old farmhouse with these converted outbuildings. Donkey Kong was made in one of the barns.
Donkey Kong was made in one of the barns!
Amazing.
We had to have special electric cable put in just to feed the studio because the power supply that fed the village wasn't enough to run
This is unbelievable.
I know. The silicon graphic hardware we were using to render Donkey Kong. So I remember the electricity board being really, really curious about what the hell
they're portraying this like Nintendo outsourced Donkey Kong to cavemen.
Yes, exactly.
Truly,
yeah. That's crazy.
The whole video is really good, and I would recommend listeners seeking it out. We'll put a link in the description. But yeah, that bit in particular, they go on to talk about the fact that sometimes they would just have power cuts and would need to have like generators running outside of the barn with a bunch of just like extension cables plugged into each other just so they could keep working on Donkey Kong Country.
And I mean,
this isn't wild.
They weren't just making another video game. Like, this was cutting-edge technology at the time to do pre-rendered graphics. They were modeling Donkey Kong and all these sprites in 3D. So, like, that's so insane to be doing it out of a barn.
I know. It's crazy. Charlotte, next time we do one of our watch this live then.
Watch this live then. That's what we're calling it now. Yeah.
Next time we do a watch this live then stream, which I think actually, as of this episode's release, will be on Friday of the week that this comes out.
Yes, we're planning on doing the live streams right now, maybe every Friday at the last Friday of the month is sort of what we're thinking. But anyway, go on.
It'll be the week after. It'll be the week after this comes out. Anyway, we need to watch the video of the Nintendo promo tapes that Pat showed us.
I was going to bring these up. Yeah.
Yes, because we didn't have these, and if we did, we didn't get them. And they were promo tapes that were sent out in the mail to people. So like the stuff that you would see now at like, what is it? The like Nintendo Direct stuff.
Yeah.
It was just VHS tapes that you had to ask to be mailed, and they
were filmed in like
I was just going to say, it's like an insanely high like level of production. They have these guys there who are like dressed up as Donkey Kong or like dressed up cool, you know, and like interviewing.
They'd hire like a teen to go around and be like, so tell me, what's going on over here at Nintendo? What are you guys cooking up for us with the big DK?
Yeah, exactly.
It has that energy of like it's like a skateboarding video. It's like a video that has the energy of something schools show you when they're trying to get you to not do drugs, and they have like a relatable teen explaining, well, here's why you would say no to cigarettes, but it's him going, you gotta play Donkey Kong 64.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
It's got the craziest graphics.
Yeah, and they like
3D.
They do explain a little bit about how the pre-rendered graphics are like, you know, new and cutting edge and stuff, and it does look so fucking cool. Like, obviously, it's, you know, the fucking file must be like 4 megabytes or something for a SNES game, but it is like it is crazy. I was playing it this week, and it still looks beautiful because it's just so lovingly done, you know.
In this documentary, they were talking about when they first like showed Donkey Kong Country at CES, and everybody watching it was like, "Well, this is clearly going to be for the Nintendo 64."
Yeah,
100% because it's 3D. Like, this is going to be that, and everyone in the room was really shocked when they were like, "No, it's the Super
broke
Nintendo."
People's brains. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's this famous story of Miyamoto not being a fan of the way it looked, and at the same time, Yoshi's Island was in development, and he hard pivoted. I think the urban legend is that he was, and I don't know if this is true, but he felt like Rare was taking the spotlight from Nintendo, and he felt like there was all this pressure to make all the Mario games look like this, and he's like, no. I like the abstracted cartooniness of Mario, so Yoshi's Island pivots hard into the other direction, which is also a very graphically impressive game, but it is super bright and kiddie and cartoony to contrast, because he just didn't want to do a Donkey Kong Country style.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that Nintendo were just like really insecure about how well Aladdin was doing of all games, like how pretty Aladdin looked.
Capcom was making good Disney games at the time.
That's so
just
funny.
really nicely animated, and Nintendo were like, we need something that is going to like stand against this.
Some of those they had Disney animators actually come and help with.
Wow, that's cool. We should talk about the game itself, which I have never beaten without copious use of the Nintendo Switch emulator rewind function. And I was playing it this week to prepare for this episode, not using that. And I think I've beaten 2 bosses, and it's taken me like 4 hours. Like, it's so fucking hard, and I cannot imagine like a 6-year-old or whatever beating that game. It's crazy to me. It like, especially now with the sort of, you know, what we expect from modern games where, you know, it's like auto saving all the time, and you know, it really doesn't punish you ever, you know. It's you know what I'm going to say, Charlotte? It's like playing Dark Souls.
The Donkey Kong like Dark Souls alarm is going off.
Yeah, for the listeners, I had that one on deck. It's the QI klaxon, but it's Libby saying that Donkey Kong is like Dark Souls.
That's perfect.
Okay, but let me defend myself.
I get it.
The reason I say that is because several times I died. Instead of going, I went, oh, you.
Yes.
Because it's funny.
Like, I think the level design is fair. If you mess up in Donkey Kong Country, it never feels like the game cheated you. It feels like, okay, I got to get better. And sometimes there's jokes in the level design. Like, it's the same way I've talked about, like, joke structure in Dark Souls, where you'll walk down a hallway and you won't look around a corner, and a guy will jump out and kill you. And you're like, all right. And then the next time you're walking past a corner, you're like, I know what's going to happen. I'm going to peek around this corner before I run out. And you do, and there's nobody there, and you're like, oh, phew. And then you walk out, and then someone falls from the ceiling and kills you. That's joke structure, and Rareware's doing a little bit of that here, and it's solid level design. It's all creative. Every level is doing something completely unique. I think the levels are better built than some of the Mario World levels, which are also amazing. They're just like... Sorry,
I want you to go on about this.
It's good.
I will.
No, because I was thinking about when I was playing that first minecart level, what you're saying. Right at the very end, there is a stretch that feels like the level is ending.
Yeah.
And it like goes on for a little bit, and then they immediately throw one more enemy right before the exit.
There's a
at
rhythm
you.
to it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you have to have such fast. There's no way that you would be able to jump the first time that you saw that thing, because he's coming at you so fucking fast. There's a couple like that. There's also one. The level I think is called Millstone Mayhem, and it's the first one where you have a hamster running in a wheel that's like a huge stone. And there's a really hard bit to get past. And it's like, again, it's close to the end of the level, and you figure it out. You're trying to time a jump into a dip so that you can get past the hamster, and then 3 fucking snakes fly at you.
and they're faster than usual, it feels.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And there is, it's crazy. It is, it's one of those things where I'm like, I am mad at it, but I'm not mad at it. You know, it's like you say, it feels fair.
Well, there's such creative games too. Like even platformers being made now, I feel like they don't have this many one-off unique mechanics per level, and like even stuff like the 2 characters, like instead of Mario getting bigger and smaller, you're getting a buddy and switching between them, and they have slightly different abilities, and you can visibly see one of them leave the screen. Like it's really innovative for what it is. They're doing so much more than you needed to do in a platformer at the time.
Yes, that's so true. They
the
didn't
animal
have to go
buddies,
so hard.
But yeah, like the first Donkey Kong Country, you have like almost 5 or whatever different animal friends, and that's such a flex compared to Yoshi. I know that like, there's like a Kirby game that gave you a bunch of them, but that was after the fact. Animal friends were really a thing for a time. We kind of lost that in video games.
Yes, and Rare specifically, the designs of animal friends and the enemies, and I think you see this most of all in Banjo-Kazooie later, where the designs of the characters are so nice. They're just fucking nice to look at. The Kremlings and the eagles that go and stuff like that. I don't know what it is about it. It just they just have so much, like, I guess, character or something is really what it is, you know.
And I don't usually associate the UK with cartooning, to be honest. Like it's just not the first place I think of.
Yeah.
But the people at Rare were like, these are killer character designs, and they added the tie to Donkey Kong. There's so many really iconic choices that they came up with. This was not like Donkey Kong didn't have a tie. Diddy Kong didn't exist. King K. Rool is a great design.
Oh, King K. Rool.
We should talk about, because the Donkey Kong design that Rare came up with carried forward for such a long time into so many other mainstream Nintendo games. How does everyone feel about Donkey Kong is different again now with Bonanza?
I like the new Bonanza look. I think it's time, but I also love the old Rareware, like the kind of dumb guy look that Donkey Kong had for 30 years was really good.
Yes.
Now he's a little bit more like a Looney Tunes character, where he's slobbering all the time.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Donkey Kong Bonanza, but I do not like the new Donkey Kong look, but I think that is just because I hate change and I'm old. So
sure.
Well, I don't like the Illumination version of Donkey Kong. Like they did a weirder, different version that looked a little more like Seth Rogen for the Illumination movie. That one sucks. I don't like that.
Yeah. I haven't actually seen the movie.
It's really sort of like so depressing.
Punky, right?
Yeah.
I honestly I loved Donkey Kong Bonanza, and when you get to the end of Donkey Kong Bonanza, and you
they love Rareware. They're clearly going for it.
They do a whole. I mean, there are bits in that game that are just levels from Donkey Kong Country. It's got Sticker Brush Symphony in there, and you do that whole level again. So there are nods to it. And then
they
at the
hold
end,
back though. Yeah.
They do hold back, and then at the end, you think you've beaten the boss, and you haven't, and you start going up through the world, and all of these old, there's all these old Donkey Kong Country enemies in it, and then it starts playing the music from the end with the guitar or whatever, and I was like millennial pogging at
the
that.
game playing. No, I know, me too.
Nice.
They did that for me. I lost my mind, and I'm like, I'm such a mark. But I wasn't ashamed. I loved it.
I know.
There's a part where you kind of are getting the sense you have figured out that they're bringing a certain character back, and then you go down and you see the first enemies again for the first time, and they look a little different than the enemies you've been fighting the whole game, and then you kill them, and you hear the sound.
Yeah.
And that is the point where I like stood up. I was going, "This is the best game ever made."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I'm an idiot. They got me.
I know. I felt so spoken to, and now I just kind of want to play it again, honestly. But I do think I'm going to set myself a goal to beat Donkey Kong Country properly without using the rewind function, because Lewis did that last year, and he was very proud of himself, and he should be.
I mean, similar to Dark Souls, right? I have to give it to you because like I feel a certain sense of guilt coming into this podcast recording, having like not done that. I did want to set myself that challenge, and I have failed. I have been thinking
it's a hard game.
Maybe I need to return to Twitch streaming and do a Kongathon to actually finish the whole thing.
Oh, I would love that, and just let me mod your chat. Let me. I'm sharpening my blade right now. Let me at him.
Well, if I get my shit together by the time this episode comes out, maybe I'll be doing that, or soon after, because I'm more than anything in the same way with a Dark Souls game. I'm like, it feels like an important like part of my gamer cred is that I need to have finished this game at some point. I did feel that when I was playing Donkey Kong Country for the first time. I was like, the level design is so tight here. I feel like it is one of those games.
2's even crazier. They really turned it up.
It's like it felt like a kind of game where it would be so rewarding to master it. I think more than anything.
As a kid, I beat them all very young. I don't think I did all the secrets when I was younger. Like there's the Lost World in each game, or at least in 2 and 3, with very hard levels. Like they ratcheted up like crazy. Yeah. But I am so good, not to toot my own horn, at 2D platformers.
Yeah.
Like I've 100%ed Super Meat Boy, Celeste, all these games, all these like tough as nails, like Twitch platformers. And it's literally all thanks to Donkey Kong and Mega Man. Like those are the two I played as a kid that were so demanding and so mean and so like, but like you said, they're inviting. Like you really felt this call to be like, I am going to beat Donkey Kong Country today. And it would be like a months-long project as a kid. Like, you'd be chipping away at it.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can really
Go ahead.
You can really lose kind of a lot of progress in this game because of how the saving works. Like, you can...
This is back when game overs meant
the saving is not great. There's not a lot of quality of life stuff in this game. But...
Right, exactly. And again, that's what makes it feel like Dark Souls, because obviously Dark Souls is doing that on purpose.
Yeah, it is essentially a bonfire system, Yeah,
exactly, yeah. And they're punishing you on purpose. That in Dark Souls they're saying, well, we could do this, you could have auto save or whatever, but you don't. And whereas with Donkey Kong it was because the game file was this big, you just couldn't. But it is tough to go back to, but I do think I feel better going back to it now, because I didn't play any Souls games until last year, and I always held them as this thing that I couldn't do. It was a sort of a joke to me to think that I could play Souls games. And then having done Bloodborne and Elden Ring, I now feel more confident as a gamer in all other games, where I'm like, okay,
if you could do those.
I'm not just like an idiot, like I'm sort of sitting there being like, okay, I can't kill this one little snake, but I did beat the Orphan of Kos, so I know that like there is some ability within me that I just need to tap into,
Yeah,
and
it kind of trains you, like you can't blame the game anymore. It's something you can overcome.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, we should rank Donkey Kong Country now on our British supermarket themed tier list. With S tier is Waitrose tier, A is Marks and Spencer, B is Sainsbury's, C is Tesco, D is Morrison's, D is Morrison's, E is Asda, and F is Iceland.
Okay.
I might go first just because I'm like I'm the least familiar, right? So I do feel like this is one that I would probably want to re-rank after having played the games like fully. So for me currently, I want to put this one in Marks and Spencer tier. Like I feel like there is like there like an element of this that makes it I think that made me want to give up on it before like coming to this and just play Pokopia or whatever instead,
I'm
just
playing Pokopia. It's fun.
It's adorable. It makes me happy. Pikachu's my friend now, so all of that stuff is good. I needed the comfort of newer games because coming to an older one, I'm just like, yeah, this one doesn't care as much about my feelings, and that's fine.
No, Pokopia is a nice warm hug after the brutal Dark Souls nature of Donkey Kong, as we've established.
Absolutely, but I think like the reason I feel comfortable putting it so high up, despite not playing it, is because it has one of the best video game soundtracks of all time, and that's just the way it is. And I feel like I've been enjoying these games just through their music before I even like tried playing them. So that's me. Libby, do you want to go next?
It's Waitrose. It's, I think, one of the best games of all time. I have played 2. I haven't played 3. I will do those at some point. And I will do them properly. And I will wear my crown of good gaming. The music alone would cement it as Waitrose for me. It's maybe, yes, it is the best. It is the best video game music there's ever been. David Wise is the god. I think Heaven sounds like Sticker Brush Symphony. I love it ever so much, and I love it.
Libby,
Well
that was
said.
really nice. That was so nice. Alec, what is your rating?
I'm gonna rank, if you don't mind, every Donkey Kong game I can think of right now.
Yes.
Okay.
Why the hell not?
Let's off the top of the dome. Here we go. So I mean, I go Waitrose class, Donkey Kong Country 2 right at the top. Donkey Kong Country 1, I go Marks and Spencer. It's great, not as good as 2.
Sure.
Sainsbury's, I go 3. That's just, it's they're starting to flag a little bit. It's not quite as strong as the first 2. And the protagonists, I love Dixie, but we don't like Kiddy Kong so much. He's kind of a dud.
Okay.
Donkey Kong 64, I go all the way down to Asda. I think that game was really fun to play as a kid. Has amazing music. It's not David Wise music. It's Grant Kirkhope, and it's simply a slog to play in the modern era.
This is what I've heard. I haven't played it.
Tedious design. The whole thing is like you have to keep switching characters to collect collectibles that you can see in front of you, but they're invisible. So you have to go all the way. You can see like a red banana. You have to go all the way back to a character changing barrel to change to Diddy Kong, and then go back to get that banana when it's red.
And then God.
And you have to, it's a terrible way to design a game. But it
based on everything I've heard, I would only play that game where like I need to play a ROM where someone has modded some quality of life shit into it. I think probably is the way to do that one. Okay, wonderful.
Yeah, that's it. There you go. Those are the ones.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. Well, that was lovely. We've done it, everybody. Now it's time for Charlotte's game. Is it a game? Who's to say? So
are we just gonna play Donkey Kong Country? We could do that.
That would be nice,
play
wouldn't
the
it?
whole thing.
I do feel like I kind of came up with this all in sort of like a haze last night. So we'll see exactly what this is as we go through. We're calling this Kong Country.
Ooh.
All right. So what's happened? This is all real, by the way. Is I've somehow acquired the rights to make a new Donkey Kong animated TV show.
Oh wow!
And this one's going to be set in the Wild West.
Did you ever see the real old TV show, by the way?
I've seen.
Yeah,
clips
I've
of
seen
it.
some of it.
Where
he
he sings every episode.
Insane. I think it was French or something.
Yes,
I think Canadian.
Right.
I might be wrong.
Yes.
It's very strange.
I've watched bits of that. It is crazy, but I'm very happy that it exists. But it's not going to be as good as my new Donkey Kong TV show, Kong Country, because I'm roping both of you in to help me. So we're looking for some fresh takes on these classic Donkey Kong characters. All right. And we're also looking for some voice actors to portray them. And if both of you take both of those roles, then I only have to pay you once. So that's ideal. So we're gonna start. We'll go through the various characters. I'll hit you with my new ideas for how they're gonna work, and then I have a line read for you both to do as well.
Okay.
And whoever does it best will get the part. So let's start, of course, with the one and only Donkey Kong. So here's some information about this version of Donkey Kong. He's the new sheriff in town.
Oh my
all right,
God.
so that's important. Donkey Kong is the new sheriff in town.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's a Bullock from Deadwood.
He's a bit of a smart Alec, if you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Well, you're a smart Alec for knowing that.
Thank you.
Smart Alec.
Chicks dig him as well.
Okay.
That's another thing about Donkey Kong. He hates bananas. This is an interesting
this is a
twist.
bridge too far. You can. This is where I'm like a purist about it. You can't
I'm
do
getting
this.
pissed off now.
We've got to do something different. This is the only way in my mind to make Donkey Kong interesting.
New Popeye,
but I do need.
he hates spinach. New Garfield hates lasagna. Okay, yeah, look, we get it.
Yeah, okay.
But I do need one more thing. If either of you have any ideas for one more thing that we could add to Donkey Kong, to this new version of Donkey Kong, to really make him interesting and
I think
capture
he's
new
queer.
and old audiences.
He's queer. I was going to
queer.
say gay.
He's gay.
queer
Okay,
is-
I like that.
Queer is better.
He's queer.
All
Yeah, I
right.
think he's a little more. Gay is too limiting for what Donkey Kong can be. I feel.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is fun because everything you've described makes me think he needs to be voiced by Timothy Olyphant. And I think
Yeah.
queer Timothy Olyphant could be really fun.
A queer Timothy Olyphant is Donkey Kong. That's good.
And that's how he's credited too. It's queer Timothy Oliphant.
All right, so Donkey Kong, he gay now. So I want you to bear all of that in mind as you try and read this line. Libby, why don't you start?
You want me to do gay voice?
Yeah,
No.
I
Actually, hold on a second here. Just because a character is queer doesn't mean that they do quote
mind.
gay voice.
This is like I took an improv class years ago, and the instructor told the student, one of the students, to now just play a gay character, see where that takes you. And then the guy goes up and goes, "I'm gonna go buy some dildos." And I'm like, what did you want that kid to do? You set him up for failure. He's like, actually, you were just supposed to say, "Hi, my name's Steve," or something.
I'm gonna go buy some dildo. God, that's so fucking funny. God damn. I adore that. All right. You want me to do Donkey Kong?
Just take a run at it.
Okay.
Just have a go.
I'm going to do exactly what I did in the booth for High on Live 2 and think, what funny, different British accent can I do that's not my normal British accent? I'm going to do, now that I, Donkey Kong, am the sheriff of this here town, I'm going to outlaw bananas once and for all. How about that?
I like that a lot. And I like that we'll find out that character is queer as well.
You can be
Donkey
queer and
Kong-
from Lancashire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Theoretically, it hasn't happened yet, but
And he's got all of the dildos shaped like bananas as well. That's his secret. Alec, do you want to have a go at this one?
Yeah, how many? I don't want to blow my voice load early. How many characters do we have on deck?
Well, we've got quite a lot. But do we
Okay,
have
okay.
enough time to get through them all?
Sure,
probably
that's
not.
fine.
So just
Cool.
have a go.
Now that I, Donkey Kong, am the sheriff of this here town, I'm gonna outlaw bananas once and for all.
Ooh.
it's really good.
both really good, honestly. But Alec, I think you got the part for this
Thank
one.
you. I appreciate
Congratulations, you are now Donkey Kong.
Yay.
We've got Candy Kong next on the list. So a little information about this version of Candy Kong. She owns the local saloon. All right, so because she's something of a businesswoman. She flirts with everyone except Donkey Kong. And I guess maybe now we know why. Maybe now we know why.
Yeah. No, she's just respectful.
Exactly. She knows karate from her secret past. So that's something that we can dig into in the show as it goes on. And then we need something
In
else.
the Old West, somebody knows karate and from their secret past.
No secret past.
That's right.
Okay,
It's
okay.
part of a secret past.
Yeah.
And for listeners as well, if you're not familiar with how Candy Kong looks, it is really that they wanted to put a hot babe in Donkey Kong. She has huge tits, really short shorts.
She's a slutty ape.
Yeah, she's a slutty ape, and it says candy across her boobies. She's hot as fuck.
Nintendo has never featured her in one of their own non-Rareware video games. Actually, they probably have, but they try not to.
Yeah.
Alec, what would you add to the character of Candy Kong here?
A third breast.
Ooh, I do like that. That's good. That's good. Libby?
I don't think I can improve on that, but I was going to say that actually, she's a nuclear physicist as well.
Oh,
that's good.
Now, obviously, they didn't have nuclear physics in the Old West, but
well, no, I mean she's the first. She's a revolutionary.
She's the first. She's done it all.
I like that. Let's go with that. She invented nuclear physics, but she's not bragging about it. You know? It's not.
Well,
it's
back
like,
then, if you knew nuclear physics, they would just think you were an insane person and have you lobotomized.
Right. Exactly.
Exactly.
Can I also pitch who would actually voice her?
Mm-hmm.
Because she's. I mean, it doesn't say she's a single mom here, but I did hear she's a single mom who works too hard. This is Reba McEntire.
Yes, she loves her kids and never stops. Absolutely. All right. Alec, do you want to start with a line read here? Now, knowing that she's also a nuclear physicist with 2 breasts. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give this my best Calamity Jane from Deadwood.
Oh,
which having never tried this impression, this might be completely off the mark, but
I love it.
Here we go.
Big D, one day these harebrained plans of yours ain't gonna end so well. And when that day comes, which it will, it'll be my big bosom you'll be crying into.
This is really good. It's so hard to do a Deadwood voice without saying fucking or cocksucker.
Yeah. Hooplehead.
Hooplehead. Alec, do you know Dana? You know Dana Bell?
Online. I don't know personally, but yeah.
Yeah, she does the best Calamity Jane impression I've ever heard in my life. It's crazy.
I love
it's
that.
really,
It's a great voice. Anyone who could do it is.
Yeah, I know. I'm so jealous of it. All right.
Go ahead, Libby.
Just wondering how misogynist I want to be with this. I'm going to do Essex.
Okay.
Big D, one a day these harebrained plans of yours ain't gonna end so well. And when that day comes, which it will, it'll be my big bosom you'll be crying into.
Oh, that's really good. I mean, I feel like we need to have a British Wild West spin-off version.
Just completely unexplained that they're all British.
Fully British town.
Yeah, no,
it's
absolutely.
the rival town. It's like the rich town up the street from Deadwood.
From Deadwood? Okay, that's really good. Of course, because it's Britain, it would be called Cuntwood.
That's
Yeah.
sure. Lovely.
Cunt snob.
Cunt
Cunt
snob.
snob. Yeah. No, Cuntwood, unfortunately, is the Australian one, probably.
Oh, shit, you're right, yeah.
Yeah.
Bellend Wood.
Bellend Wood. Libby, you are Candy Kong. Congratulations. You got the part. I really like Candy Kong from Essex. King K. Rool is next up. Little information about King K. Rool. Runs a gang of bandits. Kind of, self-explanatory. British accent because evil. All right. So this is part of the character.
Oh,
so
fun.
No dipping into the southern accents here. Middle name is Kimberly. That's a girl's name. All right. That's important. It's a little secret, and also has a cool hat. And one more thing, if you guys have any more ideas.
Is cool hat a crown?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He has a crown. Okay.
Doesn't call it a crown, calls it the cool hat.
Yeah, he calls it a cool hat.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got a pitch. For video tier viewers, you'll see that he has this big round tummy with a very prominent belly button. My pitch is that he pulls out his belly button and it's actually his penis is his round belly button.
Whoa.
Very similar to what I was going to pitch. I swear to God, before you said that, I was going to say he has a corkscrew penis like a duck.
Perfect. What if it comes from his tummy, but it's a corkscrew penis?
We are combining both of those, absolutely. Yeah, no, that is...
he twists it out. He has to, rotate it. He unscrews it.
As the duck-style penis, absolutely. All right, Libby, do you wanna have a go at King K. Rool?
Yeah, I'm just thinking, I want to do a posh guy, because I think if you're going to do evil British, it kind of has to be posh.
I agree, yeah.
So I'm sort of thinking like Lucius Malfoy kind of thing. Sheriff Donkey Kong, you have bested me once again, fair and square, I should add. I hope now that I'm within your clutches that you do not call me by a girl's name, for I would simply hate that so much.
Very nice, very nice.
Beautiful.
I mean, Libby, exactly as I imagined, which is bad because I have such a limited imagination as the studio exec here. Alec, do you want to have a run at this?
Let's see what I can do.
Sheriff Donkey Kong, you have bested me once again. Fair and square, I should add. I hope, now that I am within your clutches, that you do not call me by a girl's name. For I would simply hate that so much.
Congratulations, Alec. You got the part. You are both Donkey Kong and King K. Rool.
Wow.
It's going to be so
great.
fun at those
That's gonna be
table
tough.
reads to hear you doing both of those voices at the
It's
same
like
time.
Rick and Morty. I'm like
Exactly.
a guy I don't like.
Yes. Next up is Diddy Kong.
Oh my God,
We,
okay.
we got to incorporate Diddy Kong. Donkey Kong's younger son or brother. I haven't really
Doesn't
figured
matter
this
which
out
one,
yet.
yeah.
We'll pick that last minute. Loves to cause hijinks. Right?
Hijinks,
So
I
that
understand.
kind of character, a hijinks causing character. Also dumb. Dumb as rocks. For the listeners, I did pick a picture of him where he does look really stupid because
He
he's
does.
pointing, dumbfounded, but he's pointing the wrong way. He's not even pointing at the list, which is so
He
dumb
should
of
be
him
pointing at the list.
It's the dumbest
Owns
he's
a gun.
ever looked.
as well. He owns a gun. He's the only person in
Okay.
town who owns a gun.
Okay.
And one more thing. Anything else? Anything else on Diddy Kong here?
Just want to say my
bald.
pitch for a voice actor on this is Luke Taylor.
Yes, of course.
That's
I
right.
think dumb guy. Dumbest
Dumb guy with
I
a gun.
know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. You know, Diddy Kong loves Fortnite.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. One more thing. He is Donkey Kong's son, but he's his adoptive son, and he doesn't know that, but Donkey Kong obviously does know that.
Ah, I do like that because that does make sense. So many of so many times when I was watching this documentary, people were talking about like the family unit of Donkey Kong and how the designers were just like, I don't fucking know.
Well,
Right.
We just
yeah,
wanted
like,
a little one and a big one.
Diddy's girlfriend is Dixie Kong, like same last name.
Oh boy.
Mhm.
They don't really go
Yeah.
into that, what that means.
No,
No, it's
not
confusing.
so good, is it? Yeah.
What was your suggestion already, Libby? I already forgot.
He is Donkey Kong's adopted son.
Adopted.
he doesn't
yes. No, that's right. And I forgot that as well. Alec, any ideas for Diddy Kong here?
Yeah, under his cap he's bald. He's got no hair.
Really good.
Luke Taylor style. Right.
Yeah. No, I have a vision.
That's correct. And then not adopted. Okay, so let's have a go at this. Alec, do you want to take this first?
Yeah.
Diddy Kong.
I'll do my best Luke Taylor impression. Here we go.
I swear, dude, I didn't know that thing was loaded. It was supposed to be just a joke game of Russian roulette. A harmless prank. But now, oh god. Oh my god, there's so much blood, boss. You gotta help me, D. I can't go back to jail, D.
Really good. I felt like Luke was in the room with us. Libby, do you want to have a go at this one?
God, that's perfect.
So out of pocket, so mean of me.
We love Luke.
We love Luke.
I'm just gonna get into it here.
I swear, D, I didn't know that thing was loaded. Oh, it's supposed to be just a joke game of Russian roulette, a harmless prank. Oh, but now, oh god, so much blood. You have to help me, D. I can't go back to jail.
God, that's
Really
really good, Libby.
Thanks.
No, I really like that. I think you're Diddy Kong. I felt his presence in the room then.
Oh
Alex,
boy,
yours
I'm
was
Luke
amazing.
Taylor. I talk to children on Fortnite. My girlfriend is so cool. How did that happen?
All right. I have way more of these than I need. Maybe we
Yes.
should end on
Let's end with
Dixie
Dixie,
Kong.
yes.
Let's end on
Yeah.
Dixie Kong. We won't be able to get. I'll show you a preview of some of the ones I made. Maybe we can do them another time. We'll come back and we'll just talk about
We'll
Donkey
do a
Kong
bonus
Country
episode.
2.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dixie Kong. Some information about Dixie Kong. She can fly with her hair. She's got that long blonde ponytail. She can fly with that. She loves baby talk. Okay, she loves to talk like a baby. Is trying to get famous on the Wild West version of TikTok. And of course, she is pro-slavery. So sad.
Okay.
I looked at what Dixie meant because I was like, I remembered that the Dixie Chicks changed their name to just the Chicks, and then I found
Yeah.
out some stuff about that.
Yeah.
And one more thing. Any ideas? One more thing for Dixie Kong.
She is killed.
I like that. That's pretty good. Alec, any ideas?
She's pro-slavery, but it's for white people to be the slave.
Really good.
That's great. All right. What I want to do is ask you both to read what I wrote and decide if you want to say it. All right?
No,
Just
thanks.
Just take a moment.
No. Mm-hmm.
I'm in. I'll do it.
All right.
Ali,
So
you're so brave.
Libby's taking herself out of the running here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is already clinched for me. I'm definitely going to play Dixie Kong unless I really
Yeah, so you can do
botch
whatever
this.
you want, really.
Okay.
Wait, either you're going to play Dixie Kong or Libby's dream of her dying is going to come true and she's not going to be at the show. All right? So
Okay.
there's a lot riding on this.
She dies before she gets a voice line, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And here we go. I'll just give this my best shot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a baby. I'm just a big baby. Wow, wow, wow. I did a poopy in my diaper. Stinky winky. Goo goo gaga. Oh, Dad over there on the wall? Well, I think you'll find that the Confederate flag is important to the history of this area.
Well done. All right, lovely. And
Couldn't have been
that is Kong Country, everybody.
Thank you so much,
That is Kong
Charlotte.
Country. We didn't get to do Cranky Kong,
Racist,
Funky
yep.
Kong. I also did.
Alcoholic.
He was an
I like
alcoholic.
that you said Funky Kong was a Kool-Aid Man type character.
yeah, that's right.
It's basically true.
I do want to talk about Clump briefly because he's the
President
president of
of
the
the
United
United
States of America,
Perfect.
and he's also
Yep.
a doomsday prepper.
Uh-huh.
And Swanky Kong was the last one we didn't
know
get to.
Swanky Kong
as a
is.
prospector. He runs the mini games, Libby. If you played
Oh.
Yes,
two
yeah.
or three.
Haven't gotten there yet, yeah.
Yeah.
Swanky Kong of course loves bananas. Yeah, that was Kong Country. Well,
That was
that was
beautiful.
fun.
Amazing.
What a
I'm
good
excited
time.
to watch that.
And I'm excited to play High on Life too, which I will do at some point, I promise. Alec, would you like to promote yourself here at the end of the podcast?
Yeah, you can play High on Life 2, as stated. It's available on everything except Switch, but it'll be on Switch soon. Switch 2.
no way.
Ooh,
awesome.
lovely.
Yeah, I don't have a date for you, but it'll be there. It'll be there before you know it. You can also read my comic Mr. Boop. You can buy the hardcover online. You can read my other comic Crime Hot. You can buy the soft cover online, a big collection. That's it. You can find me online.
Lovely.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for talking about Donkey Kong with us.
My pleasure.
It was so nice to do a video game one.
I know.
I'm not gonna lie. I just love video games so much.
We have to do
Nice.
more of these.
Yeah, we really. I mean, I can't wait for the Banjo-Kazooie episode.
Oh my
it's,
God.
it's going to be so
Yes,
nice.
Yes.
Of course, if you want to follow the podcast, we're What's All This Pod on Blue Sky and on Instagram. You can shoot us an email, whatsallthispost@gmail.com. If you got an idea for a British thought, or you just want to tell us that you like the show, because we do like that. And of course, we also have bonus episodes every Thursday. This week, me and Libby are going to be going through our childhood video game collections and figuring out which one of us had better taste. So you can listen to that on Thursday on the Patreon, which is patreon.com/What's All This Then. That's been a podcast. Thanks for listening, everybody. Bye-bye.
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 What's all this then? What's all this then? What's Mr. B